What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including: does WWE think The Rock vs Roman Reigns will happen at WrestleMania 40? Spoilers on 4 big feuds in WWE. WWE superstars are loyal to Triple H, not Vince. Is Shane McMahon's son getting into wrestling? Paul Wight returns to Ohio Valley Wrestling to sell Dynamite tickets, and much more. But just before we get into that, we'd like to thank Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video, as in some topics we'd like to discuss get demonetized. Raid Shadow Legends has our back, and guess what? It's a free-to-play mobile PC RPG played by 80 million players across the world. If you're looking for one of the best mobile games out there with tons of content, look no further. I'm actually blown away by the graphics. How in the world is this completely free? But it's not just eye candy though, as Raid boasts an absolute ton of customization options. Now, you know, in wrestling you can be the champion of the promotion. Well, how about having an army of champions to rule the universe? That sounds great, right? Well, it probably won't be easy. You'll be battling in arenas to take down Raid's biggest champions. You need to have a good strategy, as don't think you can just take out a team in one swoop. Use your power-ups wisely, maybe take out the champion first and demolish the rest. The awesome thing is that you can play however you want to. A Raid also has an endgame called a Doom Tower, and it's wild. To climb to the top, you're going to need a really strong team, as the bosses are no joke. Yeah, you might get squashed a few times, but fear not, you'll get to the top. And since Halloween is coming up, Raid has you covered with less tricks, but more treats. Simply download the game using our link in the description and promo code, or scan the QR code in the upper left corner to get insane bonuses. Then go to adr.palarim.com from October 15th to November 10th, enter in your player ID and start digging, where you'll be able to get some incredible game items and even real life prizes ranging from epic and legendary Halloween themed Raid champion to Amazon gift cards with a total value of $20,000. This is amazing and something that you don't want to miss out on. Again, it's completely free. Use my link in the description or scan my QR code to get some insane bonuses. We're talking an epic champion knight errant and other useful things. Now, first story looks at: does WWE think Roman vs The Rock will happen at WrestleMania 40? At top of today's news, could the WWE Universe finally see Roman Reigns and The Rock throw down at Mania? Although the match has been talked about for years, things don't always seem to fall through. Nevertheless, it appears that the match is The Rock's for the asking, at least according to a report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Regarding the stories that WWE won't do Rock vs Reigns at Mania, if Rock wants to do it, what we were told is this: if he wants the spot, I can't believe WWE would turn him down, but after Johnson turned it down last year, nobody is going to go with the idea he's going to do it this year. The match is not scheduled, unlike at this time last year when the match was considered a good shot. Now, it's difficult to believe that the Screen Actors Guild strike will continue into 2024, and in fact a recent report suggests John Cena already has an exit strategy in place so he can return to Hollywood when the strike ends. Meltzer elaborated further on the potential match with Reigns. The belief is that Johnson will have plenty of work once the strikes are over. He'll have plenty to do. We were told that The Rock is not going to come back and win the title. I'd never anticipate that would be an issue, as if the match was to happen, I always figured Reigns to win and Rock then retiring in the ring. Although Roman vs The Rock is a dream match, the longer it takes to happen, the less likely it is to happen due to The Rock getting older. While some fans will likely be disappointed if the match doesn't happen, it seems that WWE is finally accepting that it's unlikely to happen. With any luck, this mindset will mean that WWE will start focusing on who will ultimately dethrone Reigns for the Undisputed Championship, a scenario we'll explore in our next story, as there's a big spoiler as rumors of 4 big feuds in the WWE. Speaking of Roman Reigns, Dave Meltzer is reporting that the WWE appears to be setting things up for 4 major feuds sometime in the near future. Now it's time to skip to our next story if you don't want to be spoiled. Now, the Meltzer mused in the latest Observer that right now, based on things told me and stare-downs on television, whether this is for Mania or another big show, the down-the-line teases this week were Reigns vs Rhodes, Ripley vs Lynch, Jimmy vs Jay, and Flair vs Cargill. Given Triple H's love for long-term storytelling, it wouldn't surprise us to see that if there's not all 4 of these feuds lead to major matches at WrestleMania 40. Rumor has it that Cody vs Roman 2 is the main event for WrestleMania 40, a scenario that's been thrown around ever since the day after WrestleMania 39. As for other programs, the WWE has dropped several teasers of Rhea Ripley vs Becky Lynch, but is keeping them apart by having the man focusing on defending the NXT Women's Championship. As for Jay vs Jimmy, the WWE wisely moved Jay from SmackDown to Raw in order to create a plausible reason why the feud hasn't started. However, Jimmy's recent actions, where he cost Jay and Cody the Undisputed Tag Team Championship, has some fans believing the two twins could fight as early as Crown Jewel. Finally, Jade Cargill vs Charlotte Flair seems like an instant classic, but it would be foolish for the WWE to throw Cargill against Flair without establishing Cargill's credentials. Expect to see Jade in the ring soon, possibly even repeating the undefeated streak storyline AEW crafted for her and Cargill winning the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble. Next up, could a familiar foe face Sting in his retirement match? Who is Sting going to face in his retirement match? Now that Sting has announced he'll work his last match at the 2024 edition of Revolution, there's plenty of speculation of who the Stinger's last opponent will be. According to Wrestling News, Sting could cross paths with one of his greatest opponents, even though it's unlikely the two would ever wrestle. For what it's worth, Ric Flair is not under any type of WWE contract right now, so if Tony Khan made the call, there's a good chance getting Flair on the show to pay tribute to Sting. Khan and Flair are also good friends, and Flair was talked about for AEW appearances a couple of years ago, but that never panned out. Do you think Ric Flair could get involved with Sting's retirement storyline? Let's hope Tony Khan makes it clear that the Nature Boy won't be lacing up the boots for any matches. Next up, WWE superstars are loyal to Triple H, not Vince. And how do superstars feel now that Triple H is apparently full control of the WWE's creative department? You may recall anecdotes and rumors in the summer of 2022 that morale was up after Vince McMahon's hasty exit from WWE, and now Dave Meltzer is reporting almost everyone would say it's more of a good thing than a bad thing. From those with knowledge of the creative situation prior to the merger going through and McMahon taking a medical leave, he was making changes in the shows, particularly Raw, fairly regularly. At times they were viewed as positives and at times they were not. As we discussed in our video and on our website, the shows produced when Triple H had complete control and ones where McMahon could get involved have been noticeably different. Although the post-WrestleMania 39 Raw was the only show that stuck out as awful, the rest of the shows have ranged from average to fantastic, even with McMahon having a say in them. Meltzer furthered his analysis of the situation, focusing on WWE morale. Much of the talent, certainly most of them we've had from, felt it was better when McMahon wasn't involved and were loyal to Levesque. In addition, Meltzer analyzed the WWE's incredible success from 2022 and onward. The company's comeback did start under McMahon coming out of WrestleMania, but there's no doubt it accelerated greatly in late 2022. During that period, McMahon wasn't with the company, but business remained strong when McMahon returned. Now, we believe that fans stuck by the WWE product thanks to the tremendous goodwill Triple H created with his changes to creative. While McMahon's influences reportedly thwarted some of the game's plans, such as the DIY reunion, fans still enjoy the changes he's made and kept. Next up, AEW and WWE stars want Sami Callihan. Now it looks like two top stars are looking for Sami Callihan to join them now that the former Impact star is a free agent. Karrion Kross recently tweeted, "I held this title proudly, Sami. You've always brought out the most vicious side of me, which always took me to my next level. I heard you're a free agent now. Let me return the favor and open a door for you that you once opened for me." Now, Kross isn't the only wrestler who apparently wants to see the 36-year-old wrestler in the company. A report from Fightful Select claims Callihan has people pushing him within All Elite Wrestling, namely Jon Moxley, who has long maintained a great relationship with Callihan. Which promotion should Sami Callihan go to? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, an NXT superstar reportedly dealing with an injury. There's bad news for rising NXT superstar Jakara Jackson, as an injury appears to have taken her out of NXT's ongoing NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. According to Wrestling News, WWE moved forward with the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament this week on NXT TV, where Jakara Jackson was slated to take on Ariana Grace in an opening round match. However, on Monday, WWE announced that Jackson, who is part of the Metaphor stable with Noam Dar, Ora Mensah, and Lash Legend, was pulled from the tournament. Jakara Jackson suffered an injury, believed to be a broken wrist, and that eliminated her from the NXT Breakout Tournament. We send our well wishes to Jakara Jackson for a fast and full recovery. Next up is Shane McMahon's son getting into wrestling. Declan, who is currently attending Indiana University and is running back from the Hoosiers football team, recently commented on a future in the squared circle. "When you come up in this business and you've seen it, I'm never ruling it out. I would love to get in the ring maybe a couple of times, but obviously you'll have to see if the opportunity presents itself. It's all about the story, but we'll see." Declan said he's focusing on football for now, but you never know what to expect when it comes to McMahon's and the squared circle. Do you think he'll ever wrestle? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Declan discusses AEW and Impact. And he also found time to take a shot at two WWE competitors during his interview with WU Online. When asked if he watched Impact or AEW, McMahon revealed, "I don't watch that crap." Yep, he's definitely a McMahon. And finally, Paul Wight returns to Ohio Valley Wrestling to sell Dynamite tickets. Paul Wight recently returned to Ohio Valley Wrestling for the first time since 2006. He made an in-ring appearance to announce AEW is offering buy one get one free tickets for an upcoming show. As some AEW haters are mocking the promotion for doing this, but it's nothing new as the WWE was doing this prior to the pandemic when live event ticket sales were so bad that there was talk of scaling back or even scrapping live events. However, I never saw Seth Rollins pushing tickets at a local indie show. What do you guys think? Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Now be sure to subscribe and don't forget to use our Raid Shadow Legends link in the description below, or just simply scan the QR code to get insane bonuses for new players and become the champion of the universe.